Morning. We're getting a little bit of a late start this morning. I spent a few hours at home with my kids. So we're going to keep working on this combine here. I let this bucket drain overnight. It's almost full. Good thing I got here when I did. So we got to switch that out, dump that bucket, and then start putting plugs back in and refill some of these oil reservoirs that we drained yesterday. So that is the plan here. First thing this morning, I think that Jack's coming back this afternoon, and we'll pull these two tires off on the other side of the combine here and change oil in that final drive on this side and do some cleaning from over here and stuff too. We'll see when we get it apart, but if it makes it a little bit easier to get into them shoe auger bearings and stuff with that out, I may pull all those off and stuff before we put the tires back on. So we'll see how far we get today and what all happens, but that's my plan to start with. So before I put oil back into this reservoir here, there's a filter under this cover that needs to be changed, so I'm going to take this apart and change that. Alright, we're getting oil back in our reservoir. I got the drain plugs put in, took that hose off this drain, closed that up. There was another filter down here that I had to change inside that housing there. So I got that done, and now we're just pumping oil from our tanks up there through our hose, which is a lot nicer than doing it with cans, let me tell you. Alright, well, we got two more tires off.
You can see that area behind the cab and
yeah, up in there.
Up in there.
It's dirty. And down there. This is that shaft that we've got to change the bearings on. It drives the shoe augers, so that's got to come out. Yeah. Okay, so I took the drive shaft off that connects this final drive to the transmission in there, and that kind of gives me a little bit of a hole to see what we got to work on in here. So let's crawl up in there. So this bearing, I think, is bad, and there's another one over there that we're going to change while we're at it, and then the ones on the side of the combine, right there. I would like to clean it up a little bit as best we can. Them shoe augers that we took out a while ago had come through these holes and mesh up with these gears. The gears actually look like they're in pretty good shape, so we're not going to change those. But boy, is it tight getting in here. I know you can't see me very well, but there's not a lot of room. Yeah. And we've still got plenty of dirt to clean up and deal with too. Okay, we have got the oil changed in the final drive here. Cleaning up the bolts and the threads to make sure everything goes back together well. I've got a seed truck coming here in just a couple of minutes, so I'm going to head down there to my seed barn here real quick. We're probably not going to put these tires back on today because there's a few other projects we need to do while we get this off. One is this shaft with these shoe auger bearings that I showed you a little bit ago. The other thing is this gearbox that drives the auger that we were working on in the field here a couple of weeks ago. I got to take that apart and replace the shaft in it, and it's a lot easier to get to now with no tires in the way. So we're going to do that while we got them off here. I'm also going to do some cleaning because it's a lot easier to get to when there's no tires in the way. Seed truck's here. All right, let's get this guy unloaded. Forklift should be charged up because I plugged it in yesterday. I was supposed to get two other trucks today, but the driver called me, said he was sick today, and so I've got another one tomorrow and one on Friday. Well, that was only 8 boxes. All right, got that truck unloaded. Back to work on the combine. One of the questions I've gotten asked the most is kind of where our farm is located. I've told you guys that we're kind of right on the Ohio-Michigan line, but I want to show you something. So over there is my seed warehouse where I just came from. Right here's our farm. You guys see that block right there? Well, there's a line carved in the top of that block. That is the state line. Like, now we're in Michigan, and over there, it's Ohio. We are literally, the state line cuts our farm right in half. All right, we're getting this gearbox out. I got all the bolts out. I think we can let it down, Jack. Hopefully I can balance it. All right, well, we managed to get the gearbox down and leave the auger in there, which was the goal, so that's good. Took the gearbox apart. That's the grease and water that came out of it, which is not good. It's pretty ugly inside here. Basically, we have to get this shaft out of the way in order to get that sprocket and shaft out, and that's the one that we're trying to replace because these splines are bad. The problem we have is we can't get the sprocket off of the outside. It's being stubborn. All right, well, this thing is giving us some trouble. So there's a snap ring in there that I got out. The problem is there's a seal behind it with another snap ring that's holding the bearing in. And we can't just pull the whole shaft out because of that snap ring. And I can't get that seal out and get to that snap ring without taking this sprocket off. I did open up this other end. There was a bolt in there that sort of was holding stuff in place. So by taking that apart, it should all come out as long as we can get to that snap ring, but I can't. So we got to get this sprocket off somehow. I'm considering taking it to the dealer and letting them mess with it and taking them all the new parts and saying, here, put it back together for me. But I would like to avoid that. I just can't get that off. We tried heat. We pushed. We used that puller. We beat on it with a hammer, and it doesn't want to pop off. So I don't know. Anyway, it's a little after 5. I am tired. I'm going to go home. So we made pretty decent progress here today. Got the final drive oil changed. I got oil put back in all the transmission system, hydraulic system, main engine gear case stuff that needed to be done. I have not started the combine to run it and cycle that through. I need to do that and then make sure that it's still got enough oil in it, because I think it will pump some up here to this transmission underneath the cabin feeder house area, which doesn't have a fill. So once I do that, I'll run it and check the oil, make sure, add some if it needs it, and we'll go from there. So tomorrow's plan is to work on the shoe auger bearings, crawl up in there and get that shaft out, and also replace the ones on the augers that I have sitting over there on the ground. So yeah, I'll try and get some more GoPro footage tomorrow. Sorry I didn't mess with that today. Those videos take a lot longer to edit, which makes it challenging, I guess, or harder to do. So they're pretty good though. I kind of like them, at least. Anyway, have a good night, guys. I'll probably put out another video tomorrow. We'll see what's going on. I know I've got another seed truck coming as well, and keep working on the combine. So we'll see you tomorrow. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, and yeah, good night.